I like to bring it back to how this country started. America.
Man, this is bringing me back. Some of those speeches in high school, man, they were just... they had me ready to run through a brick wall.
I think it's always important to not fear in any of your situations.
Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals.
Yeah, it's important to have a good inner circle because they will dictate where your life goes.
The simplest way to put this is like, whoever like your main circle is, you're gonna be some part of that.
All right, what is going on, YouTube podcast and Spotify and Apple Spotify,
Yeah.
or Apple Podcast. Today's episode is going to be based around why you need to surround yourself with good people, and we're going to start out with the verse of the day. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. And I think that's really important because Jesus loved and cared for everyone around him and everyone worldwide, and he still does. And I think it's super important that we stop judging people on the first appearance and do what Jesus Christ did and love everyone, no matter who they are or what they do. Don't judge them by their past, don't judge them by their looks, or don't judge them by the way they appear to be. But even Jesus had disciples that were tax collectors and sinners. So it's important that as we surround ourselves with people, it's not our place to judge, and there's only one person that can judge. So I think it's important to take that into mind.
You know, that's a great start to the episode here, and I just want to point out episode 5 already. Feels like we just started this thing. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, a month and a week in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, this episode, it's surrounding yourself with people to bring out the best version of yourself, and that's kind of the main mission of our podcast here, to be the best version of yourself in society. And like, if we're just being real, the simplest way to put this is like, whoever like your main circle is, you're gonna be some part of that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's gonna show in your life some way or another. Right. Like, if you hang out with people who don't work hard, people who just slack off all the time, you may be the hardest worker in the world, mm-hmm. but you're gonna have that's gonna influence on you. Yeah. That's gonna play a part of who you are. That's like, I mean, you look at Logan and I, we hang out all the time. We both kind of see from each other our work ethic, and then it strengthens our work ethic itself. So, I mean, a lot of times, like, you just gotta kind of assess who you're around and be like, is this group right for me? Mm-hmm. And it's okay if it's not. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's just, and like, you don't have to not be friends with them. You just kind of take a little bit of a step back. Yep. Take a step back, you're like, all right, who do I want to surround myself with? Because this is your life we're talking about. This isn't my life, it's not Logan's life, it's your life, it's yours watching. And obviously you clicked on this podcast for a reason. Yep. It's because you want to take your life somewhere and get locked in. So that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's important to have a good inner circle because they will dictate where your life goes. If you look at anyone at the very top of Forbes list, we'll use that for an example. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, all them guys. I mean, they have a tight, close-knit circle of people that have the same ideas and whatnot, and look at where they are. They're multi-billionaires, the world's greatest billionaires. And I think that's just an important note to take in, that in order to be successful, you have to have a good group of people that are going to push you to strive for better things every single day. So I think it's extremely, extremely important.
Yeah, and I just want to actually, I know we already had a verse of the day here, but I just kind of looked it up on my laptop here, and you know, in the quote that Logan said, that's not the only one. There's many, many, many verses in the Bible that talk about this, and I'm just going to name this one that kind of stands out the most to me. It's Corinthians 15:33. Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. Mm-hmm. So if your mission is to do right in this world and to inspire other people, if you hang around with people who are just slacking off, you know, not really trying to strive for anything, just coasting in life, you're gonna have part of that. And you know, it's not an easy thing to do in today's world to You know, when you have a group of people that you're going with, and like you don't just want to just back off instantly. You know, like it kind of stirs things up a little bit, and they might even say, you know, what's going on? You've been kind of distant and all that. So we're talking like this is like one of the hardest things to do like in life. But I mean, there's also another hard thing to realize too. Like, you know, maybe this group of people I'm spending my time with might not be the best for myself. And I mean, it's tough. It's tough, but that's what this podcast is about. The easy life, the easy choice makes life hard. The hard choice makes life easy. So it's your life to live. I mean, you can decide how you want to live it, but that's what it comes down to.
Just like Braedon said, it's important to surround yourself with people with good morals so that your morals can also be good. But it's equally as important to surround yourself with positive people. I mean, if you're waking up every single day and you're like, man, this day sucks. It already sucks. I woke up with a headache. I mean, the rest of your day is going to be like crap. I mean, the entire rest of your day. But if you wake up and you have a good group of guys or a good group of girls around you and, you know, they can see that you're not having a good morning and they spark a positive change in your morning, you're going to have a amazing day the rest of the day. It's very important that you also stay positive and you have that positivity always flowing. No matter if you're not positive, someone needs to get you back into that positive mindset. Like Braedon and I do that to each other all the time. We'll be like, man, we don't want to edit, or we don't want to film a video, or we don't want to get out of our room because we do this 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So it's very important to have that person next to you that's going to stay, hey, I know it's freaking rough right now, but look at what it could be. And look at how many lives we could change. We kind of swing that to a positive mindset.
Yeah, right on. Like, if you guys don't believe this, like, your body, like, releases energy, like, into the world. Like, you might not even know it, but, like, I saw this one thing, actually, on, I was looking on Twitter. Go follow our Locked In podcast Twitter account. It's verified, so go give that a follow. But anyways, I saw this one thing on Twitter, and it kind of shocked me a little bit, but when I saw it, it actually made a lot of sense. And I guess it takes a little bit of a pivot from surrounding yourself with people, but it's just more about like how to act like around people and stuff like that. Like, we've all had those occurrences in public when you're caught off guard by someone, you know, you get along with, but you weren't necessarily ready to talk to. You know, like, we all have had those little awkward scenarios pop up. And, you know, it said, like, whenever that happens and, like, you feel like it's awkward, it actually, your body, like, releases, like, these, I'm blanking on the word right now. Your body releases this thing into the air that the other person picks up, and it basically, it makes them feel awkward, too. Like, I forget what, of course I'm blanking on it now, but like that's true. Like, so it's kind of weird, like your body releases stuff without you even knowing sometimes. And I feel like that energy spreads when you surround yourself with the people we're talking about surrounding yourself with. Like, I mean, if you're surrounding yourself with people who are motivating you, people who are telling you not to give up, people who are holding you accountable, like, they're not just speaking that into your brain, like they're literally putting stuff out into the air that your body is absorbing. It's like nutrients for your mind and your body, and it's kind of weird and funny to even think of that, but it's true. It's true. And I mean, we're doing a podcast, like right now we're releasing things out of our body that's, you know, sparking ideas of Logan and I here, and, you know, motivating each other to keep going, because, like, I mean, we both talked about it already. Like, we are surprised it's not doing better than what we thought when we started. But this kind of also goes into the fact, like, you can't just start something and expect it to just take off. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that goes to show, like, if, say, Logan or I wasn't the right person to be doing this with, we probably would have already quit this already and probably wouldn't even be listening. So. I
think it's always important to not fear in any of your situations. And the Lord makes that very clear in Scripture. It says in the Bible 365 times the amount of days that we have in a year. Do not be afraid. And I think Isaiah 41:10 really points that out, where it says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you, and I will uphold you to my highest standards." So, it's important to give your trust to Him, and even if you're slouching down and you're and you're negative about something, it's important to just not be scared and trust the Lord. Pray about it, ask Him if it's the right path for you, and He will talk to you, and you just have to open your ears. And I think it's been very clear from Braedon and I in the last 5 weeks of doing this that this is something that we feel pretty called to, getting out there, sharing His word with you guys, but also making sure that that we're holding you guys accountable in your everyday actions as well, so that you can strengthen your life, not just in Scripture, but all the way around. Help each other just like Braedon and I do. So it's very important to make sure that you're with the right group of people.
What's it? Do you want to finish something or can I? Okay. This applies all over the place. Like, something I can draw to instantly is high school sports. I was a 3-sport athlete every year of high school. Even my senior year, I played 4 sports, 2 in the spring. And for football, we went to state. We ended up losing by 2, unfortunately. But, like having that locker room where we were building off of each other. When someone wasn't at lifting, we'd bring it up to them and say, hey, it's almost like you gotta be like unselfish in a sense. Like it's not because like the person who say missed a lift, it's not because they didn't feel like lifting. It's like more about, hey, you're being selfish to the team right now. Mm-hmm. You're here for the ride, but you're not here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and on that run, like what a lot of people didn't really see from the outside is like that camaraderie we had in the locker room there. And I don't care how talented you are, but when you have a team that takes it to that level, like you're with each other, you surround yourself, and like there's this energy, it just flows from one another. Mm-hmm. And
that's actually a great example, because I remember playing soccer in high school, and like them locker rooms, like, and anyone that plays sports is gonna get this, or has ever played sports, but that locker room chant and talk before the games, it's like that shows you that it's super powerful to be around positive people, because you, like on a team, you're all getting ready to go out there and win your war out on the field, and everyone's positive inside the locker room before the game. It's getting riled up, you're getting heated, you're getting ready to go kick some butt, and it happens at halftime too. It happens before and at halftime. Even if you're like, and it especially happens when you're down at halftime, and you go back to the locker room and everyone's got their head hanging, and that one guy stands up and he's like, "Listen up," and you all start getting hyped up. I mean, that shows you how important it is to be around people that are gonna lift you back up. Because the world's going to knock you down over and over and over and over again. And you're going to lose and you're going to get set back. But guess what? Someone's going to be there in your circle if you have a tight circle. And you're going to stand back up. They're going to make you stand back up. And they're going to start chanting some Rocky speeches at your face. And you're going to want to go punch someone in the head.
Dude,
right?
Some of those speeches... Man, this is bringing me back. Some of those speeches in high school, man, they were just... They had me ready to run through a brick wall, dude.
Yeah, that's what awesome. I'm saying.
Like, our coach was so good with it, and if he's watching, you know who you are. It was just like, I remember there's this one game we were playing against the number 1 team in the state. No one was giving us a shot to win. We were a 5 seed. And we were going up against a 1 seed who won the state championship 2 years prior. The only reason they didn't win it the year before is because it was the COVID year. They didn't have playoffs. And... Yes, they were supposed to beat us. No one was giving us a chance. And then the coach walks in, like, we weren't, as players, we weren't down thinking like we didn't have a chance, because, you know, why would we think that? But I remember the coach just, he walked to the locker room, everybody, like, we were all just chilling in there, and the coach just walked into the locker room, and it was kind of like just dead silence, because, like, we knew, like, what was about to happen, because he hyped us up, like, all throughout the season, and this is our second playoff game, so we got a little pep talk beforehand. Dude, I don't know if I've ever been more motivated in my life. Like, that was actually crazy. That, I mean, maybe the state game there was a pretty good speech. I had a concussion, so I don't remember everything from that. But no, I remember we were just like, that speech just took us to a whole different level.
Dude,
like, it was crazy.
Every time I watch the movie Rocky, and I watch Rocky all the time. I love all the Rocky movies. Dude, that movie, every single one of them, like, I watched the first one, I'm ready to run through my wall at midnight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm just ready to get up and tackle something. And then, like, if you just sit and binge watch all the Rocky movies, like, you will literally want to get up and just start punching the wall. You know, it's like, that shows you how powerful just someone around you in your circle can be. I mean, even if you can get that kind of excitement and positive reinforcement from a movie, you can get that from everyone that's in your life.
It's a crazy feeling. I'll describe it like you have like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine in your body, and you're amped up, dude. You're locked in. You know, that's the name of this podcast. But I think it's important to draw connections to you know, common avenues in people's lives, and I think sports is a really common thing that people do. And it's a great example to show what a positive atmosphere can do, and what a negative atmosphere can do.
Yep.
I mean, one of the things I kind of draw a picture to right away is James Harden in the Philadelphia 76ers, in the NBA there. He kind of caused a bad locker room, and or even a better example I have even is Kyrie Irving in Boston. And I got a lot of respect for Kyrie Irving. I think he's a great basketball player. I think he's matured since being in that stint with Boston, after being with Brooklyn and now Dallas, just losing in the finals to Boston. But, you know, like a lot of the guys, and like Jaylen Brown and I think another guy on the team, I can't remember, they were saying, like, there were talks about Kyrie leaving, and they were all saying, oh, he can leave. We don't like him here. And, you know, it kind of goes to show you, like, sometimes the person with all the oohs and ahs might be the worst in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. You know? So, I mean...
And it, you know, I like to bring it back to how this country started. America. I don't know where you guys are watching from, but how America started. I mean... If that doesn't show you that the people around you can make a difference, I don't know what will. Because British and Spanish settlers came to America and formed the colonies. And it is insane how the founding of our country happened. I mean, all these settlers came, started forming colonies, and then basically said, you know what, screw Britain and screw the Spanish. We're not paying your taxes and whatever. And the very few people that were here, which were all farmers and merchants and whatnot, formed an entire army with what they had here and what the British had given them, and then fought the strongest military in the world at that time, which was the British, and won. And this was just a bunch of hillbilly country folk that were farmers running around with guns in the trees, and they won against the greatest army in the entire world and the greatest navy in the world. And that right there should show you that the people around you can make a huge difference, just in being able to start an entire revolution.
I bet their head coach gave them a good pep talk.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like us versus a 1 seed. No one gave them a chance. Their head coach must have been hyping them up for sure.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah. That was, I mean, the American Revolution really settles the debate if people around you can make a difference, because you got a bunch of dudes, wearing actual wool back in the day, and they're running around with knives and pellet guns and killed the greatest army on the planet. So I don't know, and then they created the greatest country to ever exist.
Yeah, it's crazy. How about it?
So, but probably was the coach in the locker room prior to the American Revolution.
That or the halftime speech.
Yeah, one of the two. After the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
So.
We all get locked in, man.
Just a bunch of angry colonists running around with pitchforks and fire.
Scythes and everything. Yeah.
So, man, I would have loved to live back then.
I wouldn't have.
I would have. That would have been, amazing. You would have been just riding around on a horse shooting people with a, muzzle loader.
That would be kind of wild, wouldn't it?
Dude, I'd be, sitting in the tree somewhere, or in a bush, waiting for the redcoats to walk by. Which, I don't know why the British did that. They wore the brightest color they possibly could find, and then walked through the woods.
Yeah, that's not the smartest thing to do in the world, is it?
So, screw camouflage. Let's just wear a giant red...
let's just make ourselves super visible. And make it super obvious to everybody who we are.
But I guess they did... Well, one of the main reasons they had red uniforms is so that the enemy knew... or didn't know if they were hit. Because they would cover up the blood. That was the idea behind the red coats.
Productive, yeah.
It kind of gave their position away when you were walking through the woods, so...
Even though it showed they weren't hit, even though they were about to get hit.
Yeah.
It kind of goes to... It's a good example here, They weren't surrounding themselves with the right people, clearly.
No, they were not.
See, the smart thing to do would have been to wear, what our color was.
Or just run around like the Indians with deer feathers on them. And
yeah. No kidding.
Deer feathers.
Yeah, what did you say, dude?
But anyway, no one clip that. Okay. They're going to think I'm an idiot.
Oh, yeah, you are, brother.
Okay.
It's alright.
We're
locked in, though. We're locked in.
We are. It was a long day today. Alright, leave me alone.
It was. You went
150 degree attic. And
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was doing attic work today and...
Called the day early, huh?
Yeah. Well, not really. I got done at 4 o'clock.
Oh, damn.
It was 150 degrees in the attic that I was in today.
Yeah, it's wild.
It was 10 minutes in, 10 minutes out. But
the whole day, pretty much?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But we still got here and filmed the podcast.
Yeah, we're holding each other accountable.
Even though I texted Braedon this morning and said I didn't want to because I was angry that I was in the attic.
I didn't budge. I'm like, we're still going.
Braedon didn't let me get away with it, so... He said podcast is going to be tonight, even if it's at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, literally. So. Another thing too. This weekend for me was crazy. Holy smokes! I mean, I was busy on top of it. Whatever. And ever since starting this podcast, I've been running a little behind on my golf content. And for those of you who don't know, I got a golf YouTube channel that I've been working hard at. Got like 263 subscribers, I think. I don't even know. Hopefully more by the...
I think it's 300.
No, you're not. No, not yet. It's gonna be. Anyway, yesterday, I usually like to work on the video, throughout the week, when I can. I mean, I work 45 hours a week, so it's a little tough sometimes, but my week is just hectic, so I didn't get to it until literally yesterday, and I post every Monday at 3:30. So... Besides from church, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and filming a video yesterday, I was editing all day, and I got done at 9:40.
Yeah, for 9 hours.
It probably was close to 9 hours.
Yeah,
it was actually absurd. That was a lot. But you surround yourself with the right people and make sure they hold you accountable, and you get her done. And that's one thing we kind of want to start. When we started this podcast, we really wanted to make it. One was raw, but two was almost like a normal conversation of just us in general. Because we feel like we just us talking to some of the ideas we bounce just kind of is pretty valuable in itself. And that's what you heard us going there, talking about the American Revolution. You guys clicked on a podcast for, surround yourself with the best people, and now it's a history lesson. But, I mean, maybe there'll be an exam at the next week or something. I don't know. But, I don't know, this podcast here, it's gonna be specifically one thing, we're talking about how to be locked in. And that's a lot of it being the best version of yourself, and going back to surround yourself with the best people in order to achieve that. Like, you look at you know, in all these books that like, for example, I know someone from college who he's a real estate guy, and I was talking to him one time, and I asked him, you know, how he kind of established a lot for himself, and he said well, he read books, but from those books he learned, like, you surround yourself with like-minded people. And if you surround yourself with like-minded people who know a lot about the industry, some of that's going to rub off on you. So what Logan and I should be doing right now is we should be
Connecting with
podcasters and all that.
Which we are working on.
Yeah.
Well, my problem is I go for guys that have 10 million followers already, so
Yeah,
they don't respond.
Yeah.
But I like their content, so. If George Janko is somehow watching this, please hit me up, please.
Yeah.
All right. Message me back on Instagram.
But as for some of you watching, let's bring up the sports thing again, right? Say you want to become a really good football player for your school. Well, what I would start doing is start learning from the upperclassmen. Say you're a freshman, and the seniors. There's a couple of really good seniors in your position group that you see working hard. You admire. You look up to them. You know, talk to them. Ask them, you know, what they work on, or what they focus on, how they approach games. Just start trying to just grab some of that and what they do, and you know, apply it to yourself. I mean, look at Jordan Love when he took over for Aaron Rodgers. He sat behind him for 3 years, and now he's going to be getting a really big payday here pretty soon. I mean, you put yourself around the right group, some of that's going to rub off on you. That's the bottom line, really. And that's why you see a lot of these people who are super successful are really close with other people who are super successful. They're not close with people who just slack around, sleep all day, you know, play video games all day. None of that.
No.
Not one bit.
Well, I'm going to end my talking on the podcast today with my last statement, which is going to be the verse of the day. Again, I want to requote that because I thought that was really powerful. Is, in your relationship with one another, with the people around you, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. And I think I just think that's so important. You know, we walk around judging so much and looking at all the negative, when what does Christ do? He looks over top of that and sees the good in your heart. And I think we need to do that to everyone around us as we surround ourselves with people in our lives. So. Yeah,
you know, that's to be the best version of yourself, right? And some of the talking points we've had in episodes already cover that. But in the end, you're not going to be anything without, like, your faith. You know, like, your faith is a reason you're allowed to do some of this other stuff. Your faith is a reason you can be friends with like-minded people. Your faith is a reason you can step away from that group that you don't want to be a part of, and find another group that you do want to be with. And I just see a comment right here, Michael, on the live, 9 months sober this Wednesday. Congratulations,
dude,
man.
Congratulations.
So
that's huge.
That's super impressive, and I don't know. I'm assuming you probably had to step away from some group who did go crazy or whatever you had to do. But that's props to you, man. Like, we're trying to become the best version of yourself. Michael in the live here, he's working on becoming the best version of himself.
Yeah. And
that's what we're about here. So
huge congratulations, dude. 9 months sober.
Yeah.
That's big. Remember to trust the Lord and guide. Let Him guide you.
Well, a thing I say a lot is all glory to God, because without it, we'd be nothing.
Yep.
So, another shorter episode for this week. Let me know if you guys actually do like the shorter episodes, 'cause I know we kind of had some longer ones to start things out here. But
and I think they will get longer when we do guests.
Yeah, for sure.
We tried to get a guest lined up today. It just didn't work.
Right.
But that's all right.
So, our call to action for today is just do a little reality check. Take a look at your group, see if it's the right people you're hanging around with, If not, ask yourself, what do I got to do about it? You can't not be friends with them, but if you see someone else that could help you become a better version of yourself, maybe start hanging out with them a little more, you know? So hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Share this with your friends. We're trying to grow. We're putting a lot of work into this. We post we post every day on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. YouTube, this will be live Friday, and then Apple Podcasts, Spotify, this will be live Thursday. So tune in if you guys want to watch it again. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Have a nice one, Michael.